Hi everyone, Ravi this side. Welcome to Engineering Adda. So in this video, we are going to discuss how we can download the data which is coming from the Git API in our Excel sheet. So let's get started for that. So let me go to the IntelliJ and then show you. So I already have created this application. This is the Spring Boot CRUD application, and we have the mappings like get mapping, which is returning all the products from the database. Similarly, the post one, get by ID, okay, and get by some field pagination and again field and pagination. Like I have created this sample API. We only need this get all API, which will returning the list of the product from the database. Okay, so let me try to show you some other things like configuration. So you can see I have connected to my MySQL database, and this is the DB that I have connected to locally. Okay, and these are some username and password and some other configuration for us. If you don't know how to create a Spring Boot CRUD application, how to do the pagination, so I already have the videos on my channel. You can go and watch it out. So this is the CRUD application that we have created. Now let me try to make this application up and hit the endpoint, which is returning all the products from the DB. Okay, so this is the endpoint that we are going to hit now. So this application is up on the port number 9000. Go to the postman and let me try to go to the IntelliJ again, and here you can see this is the class level mapping API products, and then to hit the get mapping, which is returning the list of the product from the DB, we need to add additional mapping, which is all. Okay, so come here, you can see this. Let me try to send this, and you can see we are getting the results. I have around 300 items in our database. Let me go down to the bottom and then show you. So yeah, I have 300 products in my DB as of now. So what we'll do, we'll try to create the code in a such a way that we'll hit one API, one Git API, and then we'll download all this data which is coming from the DB by hitting the get all products. Okay, so see here. Now we are passing all or appending all to get all the products from the DB. Similarly, we'll create one API which will be a GET API, and when we'll add the additional URL as a download, it will download this data which is coming from the DB in the form of Excel. So that we are going to perform now. So let me try to go to the application, and first of all let me try to create one service method here. Okay, so let's say our method will be returning the byte array input stream. Okay, so byte array input stream, and let's say the method name is get data download, something like that, downloaded. Okay, we are not passing anything here, and then we'll simply okay, let me try to remove the body of this method and then simply do a semicolon here. So this is what we are returning as of now. Okay, so now let me go to the implementation class of this product service and then try to include this method here. Okay, as of now we are returning null. So what we are going to do, we are going to create one package called util, and inside that util package we'll try to create one class, and in the class we'll try to create one method which will be getting the data from the DB and then try to convert that data in the Excel form and then get it download for us. So that we are going to perform as of now, and later on we'll try to use that method inside this get download get data downloaded method, which is in the product service IMPL. Okay, and then after that we'll try to create one API here. So by hitting that API we'll try to call this uh, implementation method get data downloaded. Okay, so let me try to first of all let me try to create one package here and do do some development related to the download, and then I will try to show you those things later on. Okay, so once we'll start the development, you will be very much clear on the topics. Okay, so let me try to create one package here. So let's say the package name is util, and let me try to create one class called excel util. Okay, add this here. And so first of all, let me try to show you how the entity is looking like. So you can see this is the entity class, and in entity we have the ID, name, price, and the quantity, and we are using Lombok, so that with the help of Lombok we can generate all argument, no argument, getter and setters, to string, and everything we can generate with the help of Lombok. So these are the attributes that we have: ID, name, price, and the quantity. So how our Excel should be looking like? So the first row of the Excel should be append with the field name, which is ID, name, price, and the quantity, and the coming row would be values. Okay, that is how we are going to create the Excel. So first of all, let me try to go to the Excel util class, and here let me try to create one array of string which will contains the headers. Okay, so let me try to create public static final, or yeah, you can say it is final, or let it be not final, and let's say we are going to create the header. Okay, array, and in that we have the attributes. Okay, so what should be the header? The first row should be having the headers, and the first row, first cell would be ID, first row second cell would be name, third cell would be price, and fourth cell would be quantity. So that is why we are creating a array here. So let's say ID and name, price, and then we have the quantity. Okay, so that's it. Now coming next, what we need to do, we need to create the name of the seat. So let's say, let me try to open one Excel and then try to show you. So, so here you can see this is the seat name, right? Seat 1. If you click on the plus, it will open up the seat 2. So similarly, what would be the seat name? We are going to create that. And this is how our Excel is looking like, right? So let me try to minimize this, and let me try to create the seat name here. So let's say public static string seat name, something like that. And let's say the seat name is you can give any name to the seats. Let's say it is seat 1, okay, or seat for product data, something like that. Okay, just hit enter. Now we are going to create the method which will convert our data to the Excel. Okay, so let me try to create this public, and its return type should be byte array input stream. So with the help of the class name, we can directly call this method. That is why I'm making this as a static, and its return type should be byte array input stream. Okay, and let's say the name of the method is data to Excel. Okay, and here what we are passing the list of the product. Okay, so list of products, something like product list. Let me try to import the list here. If the product is not there, we need to import it as well. Okay, so we have the product. Okay, so we are good now. Now let me try to create the workbook and some output stream. So those things we need to create, right? So in order to do the accelerated development, we need to have one starter dependency in our application. So that dependency is Apache POI. So you need to include that in your application first. So let me go to the browser and then let me try to look for the Apache POI Maven dependency. Okay, just open this and go to the Apache, not the common one. Let me try to go out. Maven repo, something like that. Open this. Go to this first one, Apache POI API based on the OPC and OXML schemas. So just open this, go to the first one and try to copy this piece of code. Now come to the IntelliJ and go to the pom.xml and try to include this under the dependency section and then rerun your Maven. So once it is downloaded in your system, you can start doing the development related to the this Excel. Okay, so I think yeah, it has downloaded for us. Now let me go to the util Excel and here let me try to create the workbook first. Okay, so let me try to create the workbook. So let's say workbook, which is coming from the POI, and let's say workbook equal to new, and its implementation we are going for the XSSF workbook. Okay, and that's it. Let me try to First of all, let me try to remove this error. Let me try to return null from here. Okay. And what we are going to do, we are going to create one byte array output stream. So let me try to create that. In the coming development, you will come to know where we are going to use it. Okay. So don't worry about it. Now what we are going to do, we are going to create the seat and then we'll try to create the first row and try to insert the uh, field name in the cells. Okay, so first of all let me try to create the seat here. Okay, seat which is coming from the uh, workbook and we need to create the create seat here. So create seat and then we need to pass the seat name. So here you can see we have defined the seat name. Just copy this first and just paste it here. Okay, let me try to import the seat and you can see seat is coming from the POI. So that good. And now let me try to come down and first of all let me try to create the first row. Okay, so let's say the row and it should be, yeah, we need to create the row on the seat and let's say the first row is 0. Let me try to import the row here. Okay, we are good now. Now what we'll do, we'll try to loop, create a loop and with this header we'll loop there and then we'll try to find out each element coming from the headers and insert in the each cells. So let me try to go to the Excel. So here you can see this is the first row and we have couple of cells here. So what we'll do, we'll try to loop this array, header array, and we'll pick one value and then we'll try to come to the Excel and insert it here on the first cell. Similarly, second value to the second cell. Similarly, third value to the third cell, fourth value to the fourth cell. So this is how we can create our headers. So let me try to do that. So for loop and what we are doing, we are just iterating through the headers length and I plus plus come here Let me try to create the cell here and row. The first row is row, and we need to create the cell here. Okay, create cell, and we'll pass the reference here. Okay, so we are good now, and the cell value will be coming from the header, right? So let me try to import the cell first in our code. Okay, and why it is giving error? Remove this. Yeah, we are good now. Now what we'll do, we'll try to set the value to this cell. So set cell value, set cell value, something like that, and we'll pass the header here. Okay, so what it will do, it will try to go to the header array, and it will find the first element and then create a cell and then insert that element there. Second, in the second loop, it will go to the second element and create a cell and then insert the second element there. So this is how we can create the whole row, and that row will be having a list of fields. So that's all. Now let me try to come here and create the uh, for loop where we'll try to insert the values which is coming from the APIs. Okay, so let me try to do that. Okay, so for that, let me try to create one row, and that row will try to increment each time when we are getting the values. Okay, so let's say it is row index, and let's say it is 1. Okay, and now we'll try to iterate through the list of the product that we are getting. So here you can see this is the list of product, and product. Okay, and what we'll do, we'll try to create a row data, or we'll try to create a row. Okay, so let's say the row name is row 1, and we are creating it and we are passing the index here. Okay, and then we are just increasing the index each time we are looping it. Okay, now what we'll do, we have a next row created for the values. So here you can see the first row was created for the headers or the fields. Second row is for the values which is coming from the API. Okay, so let me come here and let me try to create the cell. So we have created the row. Now we need to create the cell, and we'll put the value inside the cell. Okay, so row 1 dot create cell, and then create cell, and then inside that cell, let's say the cell value is 0, and then we'll set the cell value from where, from the product that we are getting from the APIs. Okay, and then from there we'll try to get the value. So let's say the first cell is ID. Okay, so let me try to call get by get ID, something like that. Yeah, so we are good now. Similarly, we can set the values for the others field. Okay, so let's say the second field is 1, second cell name number is 1, and then now we want to set the value to it, and the second value should be name. Similarly, the price and the quantity. Okay, get price and row 1 dot get quantity. So we are good now. Next, what we'll do, we'll try to write the output stream. Okay, so let me try to do this. So here, let me try to look for the workbook, write and out. here in the above we have created this output stream. So byte array output stream, we need to write it here to the workbook. Okay, so this is good. Now let me try to see what is there. Okay, so it is giving us some exception. So either you can do the try catch or you can throw it. Let me try to do the try catch here. Okay, and yeah, so we have the catch now, and we are, let me try to return this from here. Let me try to return the byte array input. Okay, so return a new byte array input where we'll pass the workbook here. Okay, sorry, out dot like byte array. Let me try to remove this, come here. Okay, so we are good now. Here from here, let me try to remove this null, and we are good. Okay, if you want to implement the finally, you can also implement and try to close the workbook and the out. So let me try to do that as well. So finally, workbook dot close and out byte array output stream dot close. So you can close both of them, but it is not taking up. So what we need to do, we need to put everything inside the try so that it can take up. So let me try to come up, and here from, let me try to skip these two variables and then keep everything in the try. So we are good. So what is there? It is inside the try, and we are returning it, and then we are closing the try. Then we have the catch, and then finally we have the finally. Why it is giving the error? Sorry, let me go there. It is asking to throw some exception. Okay, so we threw the input output exception. So we are good now. Now let me try to go to the product service. So we have created this get data download method, and we have implemented this in the product service IMPL. So now what we'll do, we'll try to call this uh, data to Excel method in the implementation class. Okay, so here let me try to call it. So how we can call it? So directly we can call it because this is the static method that we have created. Okay, so let me try to do that. So let's say we are creating a list of product, which is a return list of product, and we are getting it from the repository find all. Okay, why it is giving error? Okay, so here it is. We are good now, and this list of product which we are getting from the database will try to pass to the method that we have created in the util. Okay, and then it will convert that to the byte array input stream, and that will be returned from here. Okay, so let me try to do that. So let me try to create a byte array input stream. Let's say data byte array input stream, we are passing the, then we will call this excel util class and then method, and we'll pass the products here, and it is giving some error. Let me try to, okay, so we need to throw this exception, and then we'll simply return the data. That's it. So we are good now. Now let me try to go to the controller class and create one API here which will be downloading the values. Okay, so how we can create it? Let me try to copy this piece of code, come down, paste it here. Let's say it is download. Okay, and let's say download. Okay, and what we are doing, we are passing nothing. Okay, and simply calling the method that we have implemented inside the product service IMPL. Okay, so that we are going to do. So let me try to change the return type of this method. Let's say it is returning the response entity, and there will try to return the input stream resource. Okay, so let's say response entity, and here we are returning the input stream resource. Or yeah, okay, download, and let me try to remove this path variables from here, and let me remove this piece of code as of now. So what we'll do, we'll try to call the product service implementation method here, and its return type is byte array input stream. Okay, let me try to call that method here using the product service dot get data downloaded, and let me try to add list exception to the method body. Okay, now we are good. Now we need to convert this byte array input stream to the input stream resource. That is what we are returning from here. So let me try to do that. So it input stream resource, and okay, so we are good now. Okay, now let me try to create the file name. That will be the name of the file that we are going to download. Okay, so and we need to do some extra configuration, like we need to set the headers, content type. So those things we need to do. So let me try to do that first. So first of all, let me try to create the string file name, and let's say the name of the file is products.xlsx. So this is the format of the Excel. So in this format it will be downloaded. Okay, and now let me try to uh, set the headers and the content type. So for that, let me try to create the response entity, and inside the response entity we'll be passing the input stream resource. Let's say it is response, and response entity dot OK, and then we'll set the header as well as the content type. So those things will do. So come here dot header. Okay, and we need to pass the content disposition and the file. Okay, so those things will do. So let's say it is HTTP header. Okay, let me try to import this. Let's say this is response one or response entity. Okay, and it is HTTP headers dot content disposition, and then we'll pass the file name here. So what would be the header value attachment, and then file name, and we'll pass the file name. So what is the file name? Yeah, this is the variable that we have created for the file name. Now come here, let me try to do the content type. So content type, what we are doing going to add is a media type. Okay, so let me try to do that. Media type dot parse media type, and here we'll pass the application vnd mxxl so that it can convert to the mxxl. Okay, so let me try to do that. So it is application, and it is not in the octet stream, it is in the vnd mxxl, and then we'll add in the body, we'll add the this input stream or the response. Okay, so copy this response from here and try to add it here. That's it. Okay, and now simply return the response entity. So we are good now. Now let me try to make this application up and then try to hit this endpoint and see how it is working. So wait for a few seconds, it is running our application. Yeah, our application is up now. Let me go to the browser and let me try to hit the endpoint. So it is HTTP localhost 9000 slash API products and then download. Just hit enter and you can see it has downloaded the Excel for us. Let me go to the Excel. I don't know if it is taking the name of the file or not. So just let me try to open it. Yes. And here you can see the values are coming up. But the name of the file is download. Uh, it is not the product, right? That we passed in our, let me go to the intelligence show you. So here you can see the file name we are using is product.xlsx, right? Which is not taking up. It is generating from its own, which is download as a file name. Okay, so that we need to correct. So we'll do that. Let me try to cross check if all the products are coming or not. So you can see all 300 products are coming. So we are good now. Let me try to go to the IntelliJ and let me try to include this equal to, I think we have missed this, and let me try to run this and then try to hit it again and then see. This time it should pick. So come here and let me try to make the API. So it is localhost 9000 slash API products and then download. Okay, let me try to see if our application is up or not. So yeah, it is up. So this is the API that we are going to hit. This is the class level mapping, which is API products. Come down, additional mapping is download. Now go to the browser and then just hit enter. So this time you can see it is downloading in the form of products. So it is taking up the file name and it is downloading in the XLS form. So just open it and you can see the products are also coming. So this is how you can download the data in the form of Excel, the data which is coming from the Gate API in the form of Excel. So if you like the video, please hit the like button and please subscribe the channel for more such content. Thanks.